Hello, welcome to Astronomy Live, tonight with a special show along with WTF Sky and Shawn Hufford. So welcome, Shawn, and welcome, Murray.
Hello.
So tonight I wanted to have a discussion about Nibiru Planet X 2016 channel's latest video, accusing me of being a Luciferian? Luciferian? Satanist,
Luciferian.
Right? I mean, that's Luciferian. Basically, if my understanding is correct, he's basically accusing me of being a Satanist in this video, and a liar, of course, to boot. So this was all in response to my video that I uploaded last night, showing that the mysterious object he was presenting in Google Sky was actually the planet Saturn. And if we come back to his original video, you can see the title very plainly says Nibiru Planet X exclusive. Nibiru coordinates revealed 2011. And just to set the stage, I want to skip back here. And no, we're not going to use the entire video, and we will explain why shortly. But I just want to cover a major part of what he said right here, because it's very important.
Obviously knows what they are doing. They found the footage back in 2011 on Google Space, Nibiru, a few of their moons, and they are right now plotting or trying to plot its current course.
Very critical there. He did say that this is him prefacing what he's about to show. And he's saying that it is Nibiru from 2011, right? We all in agreement about that? I think we're all in agreement about that, right?
Yes.
So he then proceeds to show these images in Google Sky, and he says this video was emailed to him. Okay, that's fine. He shows these white boxes. These white boxes actually contain additional information about each of the images, but in some recording programs, it doesn't seem to work right. I know it doesn't work right in Google Hangouts. If I were to load up Google Sky right now and try to click on a slew icon, you would see a white box instead of the detailed information that it shows you. Some of that information includes the date the picture was taken. So these images that he's showing here were taken in 2011. And the video was only just recorded, and we can tell that by the fact that later in the video, he shows a zoomed out view of Google Sky. And when he zooms out, too far there, when he zooms out, at one point you can actually see Mercury's, here we go, Mercury's projected position here. So this is Google Sky trying to show the user where the planet Mercury is at the current time. And as you can see, the current time was October 23rd, 2016. So it's a little fuzzy, but that's what it's showing, is the current, or what was then the current date. So it was a recent video, but the images were taken in 2011. And so I investigated this using Stellarium and took a look at what would be seen at the coordinates these images were actually located at back in February 2011. So that was what I did with this video right here. So I'm going to play a section of it, and I'm just going to show you part of it again, where I start to talk about the coordinates from this video. And claims this is Nibiru. All right, let's see. Let's take a look here in Google Sky. So here's the very same image point here. Later in his video critiquing me, he complains about me slipping into Google Sky on my own, in my own computer. I made it very clear. We're taking a look here in Google Sky. Obviously, this isn't his video. Obviously, you can see that the YouTube page has gone away and it's now full screen Google Sky. I shouldn't have to explain any further than that this is, me recording directly on Google Sky to explain everything. That's the whole point. You can see coordinates there. You can see the slew image. But oh wait, come down here to the bottom right corner. Take a look at these coordinates on Google Sky. Notice how this is exactly 12 hours different from the coordinates listed here. So these coordinates are not accurate, actually. If I fade this image out, which this is an image from SLU, you can see it does match the background stars. This is 48 Virgo. Okay, all those background stars match, but there is a new big bright object here. Is this Nibiru? We'll see in a minute. First of all, we have to establish where this really is in the sky. Its true location is not this set of coordinates here. And notice, I'm not accusing him of somehow managing to insert these coordinates into Google Sky falsely. I'm not accusing the person who sent him the video of inserting these coordinates falsely. As I explained later in the video, I fully suspect that this is a glitch to do with SLU itself. I'm not blaming anyone in particular for that mistake. Notice again the conflict between these coordinates and these coordinates down the bottom right. These coordinates are the accurate coordinates here because, see, it matches with background stars. Constellation Virgo is not at 1 hour of right ascension. You can look this up anywhere, any old almanac, anything. You'll find that Virgo is 12 hours away from this position. It's on the opposite side of the sky. It's actually at 13 hours of right ascension. So these are the true coordinates of the location of this image, which does match up with background stars in the constellation Virgo. Okay, so let me just skip ahead here for a second to show Stellarium. So you can see in Stellarium, Saturn. When I set it to the 28th, there we go. The coordinates up here were a match for what we were seeing in Google Sky. And the images were taken on dates around late February, early March. So that was Saturn. That was where Saturn was expected to be in the sky. So he's been complaining about this video. Let's take a quick look at his response to this.
Back in 2011 on Google Space, Nibiru, a few of their moons, and they are right now plotting or trying to plot its current course. Now at this point, all you see is my welcome back to the Nibiru channel banner. You do not see any photograph, you do not see any space image that I am pointing to and telling you that picture is Nibiru Planet X, or Nemesis, the brown dwarf star. I am simply stating what the man in the email said he had the coordinates of.
This is one of the most ridiculous things I have ever heard. I mean, this ranks, in my mind, right up there with trying to redefine the word is to get out of an uncomfortable statement. He's trying to seriously claim that he never claimed that this was Nibiru, even though the video title is Nibiru Coordinates Revealed, even though he vouched for this video he was sent with full confidence in the person who sent it and what it contained. Let's listen again to what he said.
Obviously, when you watch the video of Google Space, this individual obviously knows what they are doing. They found the footage back in 2011 on Google Space, Nibiru, a few of their moons, and they are right now plotting or trying to plot its current course.
Okay, so clearly he was setting this up to be Nibiru. No, he's not showing the images yet. He's prefacing the video. I mean, how hard is that to understand? But he's trying to fool his own viewers into thinking he was never saying this was Nibiru, even though he set it up as being Nibiru. So we have that. We also now have confirmation from the person who actually sent him the video he used from Google Sky, who actually found this in Google Sky. He watched both videos, of course, and came to the conclusion that I was right, that it was just Saturn. So we had a hangout last night on Daz the Cameraman's channel, and he actually hopped into the hangout. And this is him. Shazoon is his screen name. And let's hear what he has to say.
Can you hear me still? Yes, I can. Go ahead. All right. So I've been following Scott and you both along for, I want to say, the last 5 days, and I've been doing a lot of research into the Nibiru, or whatever you want to pronounce it as. And for most of today, me and him have been sending emails back and forth. And what I originally thought was the planet, which I found out now is Saturn, just a very horrific film of it. But originally, I was also in the panic, I guess you want to say, of the whole end of the world thing. But I was trying to do it out of goodwill, if you want.
Right. So you sent the video to Scott originally, and he's re-uploaded. And so you're acknowledging that it is actually... Go ahead.
Yes, I am acknowledging it. It was me that sent it. I forwarded the emails to you as well.
Right. And can you just confirm to us what you now believe the object is in the video?
I do believe it was Saturn, as I have seen. I went in and I have confirmed that it most likely was Saturn.
Okay, so he confirms it was Saturn now, and it basically confirms that there was a misunderstanding. He didn't understand what it was. He sent it to Nibiru channel. Nibiru channel put it up on his channel, claiming it as Nibiru, and coordinates here were revealed. So he's not being truthful about what he was actually saying in that video. He's now trying to backpedal without admitting he's backpedaling.
Well, to address that point,
yeah,
to address
go
that
ahead,
point,
Shawn.
he made it very clear that he was going to be showing the coordinates for Nibiru, and the only coordinates he showed was for Saturn, period. So that's an outright lie that he's now going by and saying that he wasn't talking about Nibiru.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, his video title was clear, what he said in the video was clear, and this is, I mean, this is the thinnest excuse I've ever seen, honestly. His excuse is basically, well, I was still showing my title page, so I wasn't actually claiming it was Nibiru yet because you couldn't see it yet. But he was prefacing it, like he's ignoring the entire concept of prefacing a video, as if that doesn't exist, as if that's not a thing. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, isn't it?
If he's not saying it's Nibiru, then what is he saying?
Exactly. So I want to skip forward here a little bit. Oh, you know, let me see if I can skip forward to the part where he complains about me skipping forward. That would be sort of fitting, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Oh wait, here you go. I think this is the part where he's complaining. There's a little bit of video inception going on here. We have videos inside of videos inside of videos, but I'm going to try to make this as straightforward as I can.
And Astronomy is spreading
Turn it up.
disinformation and lying
Okay.
right to whoever watches this video, right to your face. So let's watch.
Why? I'm going to mute him for a second here. Let's see here. So he shows some pictures. Notice this icon down here. This is the icon for SLU. So he's looking at SLU images within the context of Google Sky. I'm going to skip ahead here a little bit to...
Once again, he skips far, far ahead in the video. He doesn't let the whole entire video play through. He's only showing you what he wants to show you because it's sleight of hand.
Okay. Now, why might I be skipping forward in the video and just, instead of just copying his entire video? Why don't I just take his entire video and just plop it into mine? Well, there's a very good reason for that.
I seem to remember
ahead,
him having an objection to you using any of his material at some point, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, I have that audio right here. You want me to play it?
Oh, I would love to.
Okay, so this comes from the video which has now been taken down by YouTube. In fact, I should have pulled up that link too, just so you could see the fact that it's been taken down. YouTube has removed his video, which attempted to dox me, as they removed it as bullying and harassment. So I had filed a privacy complaint with YouTube over that video because he was trying to show my personal information without my permission, of course. My personal information is kept private on this channel. I don't spread that around. Well, he went and did some digging, found a bunch of personal information, posted online, tried to smear me, basically. And I reported it as a both harassment and as a privacy violation. Now, the way the privacy violation system works on YouTube, even if something is a privacy violation, YouTube will give the uploader 48 hours to deal with it themselves, to take it down, or if the privacy violation is an aspect of the title, they can change the title. But if it's in the video itself, they have to take the video down within 48 hours. Otherwise, if YouTube looks at it and they determine that it really was a privacy violation, that person could be in trouble. So that process normally takes 48 hours. Well, I woke up this morning and I had an email in my inbox stating that they had closed the case for the privacy violation because they discovered that the video had already been removed. And I assumed that meant he had taken it down himself. Usually that's what that means. In this case, no, that's not what that meant. What this meant was that YouTube superseded itself. YouTube took it down on the basis of harassment even before considering the aspects of privacy invading, the privacy invading aspects of it. They basically superseded themselves. They said, you know what, this is so awful, we're taking it down now. We're not even going to wait for 48 hours to elapse. It's not just a privacy violation, it's harassment. So they took the video down. I recorded it. I saved it to my hard drive before they took it down. So I'm going to just play the audio here of a section of it in which he, Nibiru channel, basically threatens to come after myself and Daza for using segments of his videos and commenting on them. And so here, let's take a listen to what he said in that video.
And there are a ton of infringements and trademark infringements that are being violated by these individuals, but we're not sure if we want to go ahead and trash them in court. Because
yeah, there's probably a good reason why they haven't tried to trash us in court yet. We'll get to that in a second.
it takes tens of thousands of dollars, and out getting ready to go into a meeting on Monday morning with our attorneys who specialize in copyright infringement. They actually filed all of our copyright licensing with the federal government. And all of our videos are covered under our copyright license. And my logo is also a trademark. So they are violating YouTube policy, and they are also violating federal copyright laws. Now, if you go to Daza the Cameraman's YouTube channel, you will see that underneath each and every one of his videos, he places a disclaimer. And the disclaimer is based on the fair use of video information. And this all coincides with copyright licensing and copyright infringements. Now, we've taken all of this information to our attorney, and he has viewed all of the videos that Dave the Cameraman, aka David Gregg, has placed up on his YouTube channel that are dealing with our channel, which is Nibiru Planet X 2016. And he thinks because this fair use statement is going to be his loophole, and it's not. It's just absolutely not.
Of course, he never gives a valid reason for why these videos don't fall under fair use, because frankly, they do. And part of that is using only the sections of the videos necessary to comment on. I skipped over a large part of his video because mostly nothing's being said. You're scrolling around Google Sky. It's not relevant to the main points of the argument, which are the actual pictures he's showing there in Google Sky that he originally claimed were Nibiru and the coordinates of Nibiru. So I skipped to those parts so that we could talk about them. I didn't use his entire video. He clearly just threatened to come after us on the grounds of copyright. And now suddenly he wants us to use his entire video in our videos? That sounds suspiciously like he's trying to trap us into breaking fair use rules so that he can hit us with copyright strikes. What's your take on this, Shawn? You have a lot of knowledge about this.
Well, first of all, I'm still floored at the fact that he says he has federal copyright licensing. There's no such thing. If you produce anything, it's protected under copyright federally. There's no license you need to get for it. YouTube has two different kinds of licenses to tell other people if they can or cannot use your material. There's the standard YouTube license, which is just falls under standard copyright law. It's not a special license for you. And then there's the Creative Commons, which means people can download your video, re-upload them however they see fit, because you're giving it freely to everyone to be able to use. I think that's where he's getting this whole copyright licensing thing screwed up. He hasn't talked to a lawyer, or else he would have told them straight up there's no such thing as a copyright license.
Right. That's what I thought. And, you know, clearly all the videos that Dave and I do on our channels, we try to make sure that we only use the minimum necessary to actually comment on. So that's why I'm skipping around his video then, and it's why I'm skipping around his video now. We're just going to talk about the major points here. And I'm sure he'll probably complain about that again, but
No one
you know.
wants to listen to stupid
Now-
voice
Sorry.
like for more than they have to. I'm so sick of it already. Oh my god.
As far as fair use goes, fair use isn't a loophole like he claims. It is an actual law. It's a fair use act. It protects any content creator that allows them to use other people's material, whether it's copyrighted or not, without their permission, as long as it's for commentary, critique, satire, parody, and there's one other one. I can't remember it. It's because I never used it. Now, I actually deal a lot with this copyright stuff because I make parodies on my channel. And they're not protected under copyright because I'm doing them with MIDI and making them karaoke style, so it's not a derivative work. If I sang to them, they would become a derivative work. And I would actually be able to either remove the copyright or the content ID claims on them, or I could monetize them for myself. But since I'm not singing in them, I can't. So fair use isn't really a gray area, but there's a lot of nuances to it. And everything that you and Dazza have done has fallen under fair use because it's all commentary and critique. So he can piss and moan all he wants. He's out of luck.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so, you know, this new development, this new wrinkle where he suddenly wants us to use all of his videos, to me, it smacks of an attempt to lay a trap for us, and it's really kind of just silly. I mean, I'm not going to upload his entire video. It's not necessary, and frankly, it's ridiculous. Now, one other thing he complains about, I do want to address here. I kind of caught the very last moment of it there in his video a moment ago. But at one point in the original video, in fact, I should probably go back to the original video and play that section of it. There's like some audio in the background of what sounds like a space shuttle mission or something playing. It gets around this section here somewhere. Is it? Well, in any case, it's in this video when he shows my video playing it, and I muted it and said, you know, he added like some audio in the background from Space Shuttle Mission. I didn't really understand why that was in the background, and I'm not, you know, sure who added it, and I didn't really say, you know, Nibiru channel added it. I don't know, somebody added it. It wasn't me, obviously, but he goes off on this tirade because I said he added, you know, audio from a space shuttle mission or something, and he made some big fuss about it, like I was accusing him of somehow adding false audio to it. So let's see.
Okay, so here's the video, and it's really hard to see it for the most part. It's really grainy. This is actually listed as 1 hour, 3 minutes, 39 seconds right ascension, negative 3 degrees, 55 minutes. Oh yeah, and I forgot he added in like sound effects from a space shuttle.
Okay, so he's claiming right there that I added in audio footage from a space shuttle. I did not add in any audio to this video because that little tidbit of audio was already in the video when the gentleman who emailed it to me sent it over. So
okay, so I'm totally willing to accept that. That's fine. It doesn't matter to me all that much. I was trying to explain what I was doing and why I was muting the audio. I mean, is that really such a big deal? But I guess to him, he got all bent out of shape about it. So I apologize if that came across like I was accusing you of doing something nefarious with audio. But I just didn't see a point for that being there, whoever added it, and I was muting it. So it's pretty simple as that. So I think that covers like all the major points in terms of what he's, you know, accusing me of here. I'm not trying to be dishonest here. I mean, the fact of the matter is he did claim that this was Nibiru. You know, I'm going to play the audio one more time. It can't be overstated.
Well,
what he prefaced this video was, he set this whole thing up.
Before you do that, actually go back a little bit and show the actual title card of the video.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
This
read
isn't
what
the
it says there.
This isn't the thumbnail.
Everybody.
This isn't something that got edited later. This is the title card of the video. Nibiru coordinates from 2011, video and photo. Which means that the
Yep.
video and photo he's showing is what he is implying is Nibiru.
Right, and if he tries to claim that, well, the video he showed was actually recorded the other day, it wasn't recorded in 2011. That might be true. In fact, that we're pretty sure that is true. But the images he's showing from SLU are clearly from 2011. That's what he's referencing here. The fact that it's 2011, that refers to those SLU images that were taken in February and March 2011. So clearly he's saying that those SLU images show Nibiru and show Nibiru's coordinates.
But this title card alone contextually implies that he is showing photos of what he thinks is Nibiru.
The title says Nibiru coordinates revealed. Exclusive.
But see, the title of the video can be changed. But that title card can't unless he takes the video down and re-uploads it. So for him to say that he's not talking about Nibiru at all is an outright lie just because of his title card.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. So, I don't know. I've been getting a ton of comments on my channel in the last few hours with people who've only seen his video coming onto my video and attacking me for lying. I'm not the one who's lying here, okay? I mean, he did set this up as if it were Nibiru. All you have to do is go back and actually watch the video, and he clearly sets this up as being Nibiru when in fact it's just the planet Saturn. Even the person who sent him this video that he's showing admits it was Saturn. So there's the nice big title card.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nibiru channel. It is October 23rd, 2016, and I think we have some ultra exclusive video footage from Google Space. This information was just emailed to me by one of our loyal subscribers. Obviously, when you watch the video of Google Space, this individual obviously knows what they are doing. They found the footage back in 2011 on Google Space, Nibiru, a few of their moons, and they are right now plotting or trying to plot its current course. Kick back, watch this video very carefully. It includes the constellation location and the coordinates. The coordinates that everybody wanted. Here they come. Stay tuned.
Okay, so now, that's his.
Is it just me, or do I picture him like pounding his finger, pointing at the desk every time he says coordinates?
yeah, I kind of picture something like that too. Sort of an Alex Jones figure, if you will. But just, oh.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear that, that's all I can picture is him, slamming his finger into the desk. It's like, coordinates.
It's just crazy. And the thing that concerns me, hold on, let me take my earpiece out because I hear my voice. The thing that concerns me is he's portraying this as, first off, he's portraying himself as being some kind of Christian, saying that, we're a Luciferian or whatever, just to play up to his subscriber base, because he knows that there's a lot of Christians, in his channel. And it's just frightening to me that if people were actually Christians listening to his statements, they should know. But there's a lot of hypocritical Christians on his channel, and it's just sort of alarming to me that they're actually sort of they're like sheep being led by a wolf. And how do you warn people of that when they're blinded in a cult-like manner?
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm a Christian myself, so I don't particularly appreciate being called a gosh, I can't say it. Luciferian. Luciferian. Can't we just say Satanist? It's
just Satanist or Satan worshiper. He's not even Christian, and he's casting judgment on others. We've been very cordial. I'm losing my patience, but for his Christian viewers viewing this, check out Isaiah 5:20. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. You know, his viewers need to be careful.
Well, to answer Astronomy Live's question, a Luciferian, according to him, I have not checked on this myself, but according to him, the definition means of the devil.
Satan's spawn.
So I don't know if
I've
that's
been called all
accurate.
kinds of names by his viewers, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what he sees the distinction is exactly, but I mean, I'm not either one of them. So there you
He's
go. I'm a
bringing
Christian.
religion into it just to play off his viewers. It's pathetic. It's super manipulative and just he's not even a Christian. People should pay attention, you know, how he's handling things. He's very deceptive, very manipulative, and it makes me sick.
Well, in terms of how he's handling things, I will say this: if he maintains his current course and keeps posting videos that harass other people, not just me, you know, Daza or anyone else, you, WTF Sky, I know he's been really cruel to you and harassing you, outright harassing you.
Oh,
If he
I
keeps
have a long book I'm collecting. I'm ready to go to the lawyer. I have enough on him just to slam a book on him now.
I mean, if he keeps this up, he's going to lose his YouTube channel because they already pulled his video. Let me pull up that link to his old video that was pulled down because he was harassing me, and YouTube, like I said, they superseded themselves in getting it deleted. I was expecting it was going to take at least 2 days and probably 3 or 4 days before they finally got around to reviewing it and making a decision about it. But in less than 48 hours, they had already pulled it down. So, you know, they didn't waste any time. Here we go. I got the link now. Let me just pop this in here on the screen you guys are seeing and just show what YouTube said about it. So if you try to go to the video that was doxing me and harassing me, it says this video has been removed for violating YouTube's policy on harassment and bullying. So it's gone. And if he keeps this up and he keeps uploading videos that get pulled down like that, I imagine it's not going to be very long before YouTube just pulls his entire channel down. And I don't imagine he wants that at all.
Well, generally YouTube only does like 1 or 2 shots at that and your channel's done. They don't. That's not the 3 or 5 strike process when it comes to harassment. They don't deal with that at all.
Mm-hmm.
They have a very low tolerance for that.
Yeah, I have no idea what the strike policy is on that, but like you said, I imagine it's not like copyright strikes. I think did they give us more copyright strike allowances? I forget what it was. Like I don't have any on my channel, but
with the copyright strike, the policy changed. The copyright strike changed to 5 strikes and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
But it's easier to get strikes now.
Okay. Yeah, so there you go. There's the deal. So yeah, it's like a 5-strike policy now on copyrights, and I think he's had at least a couple on that.
If you get 5 community strikes, which is usually it's various things being done either in comments or in counter videos, which I'm pretty sure he got at least 1 community strike for this. Community strikes are actually given by the community, not by YouTube.
Interesting. How does that work?
It's based on the number of reports you get for comments and videos.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
It's basically like the precursor to the Hero program, which don't get me started on that.
Yeah, not a fan. I'm not a fan on that. I have to admit, I'd much rather some official admin of YouTube make the decision than community, because otherwise you can have mob justice. I mean, he's got how many viewers, and if he persuaded a certain percentage of them to flood my channel, he could probably get my channel taken down just based on frivolous flagging.
Well, if a channel starts getting flagged a lot, they will actually investigate. There's actually been a couple of people that tried to take channels down already, and the channels were restored because they figured out that it was just bullying.
Right.
So YouTube, I'll give them that. There's been I know of 2 channels that were taken down for like less than 24 hours before YouTube came back and says, yeah, this got out of hand. We know that you're not doing anything wrong. Here's your channel back.
Didn't it happen to Scott? Didn't he lose he already lost his channel once?
From the Hero program?
I don't know
No.
what it was from. I think it was copyright strikes, and somehow he got his channel back.
He probably just made a new account.
No, I think he got the real one back with all the subs. That's why he has the other one. That was the one he created when his other channel was down.
So, yeah, it's. I know the other channel had a mirrored copy of the video too, and that one got pulled down. I don't know yet if that was pulled down for the same reason or a different reason, but basically, when I woke up, I had the email showing this video went down, and I think either immediately thereafter, or maybe at the same time, another email came in for the other video too, because he had the same video mirrored across 2 channels.
Wasn't too bright.
No, certainly
well,
not.
It's like I told you when you first did your privacy flag on it. When he uploaded the second the second video on the second channel with the mirror of the video, and you flagged that for privacy and harassment, it also tagged that first one with harassment most likely, and that's when both got pulled.
Yeah. No, I know I tagged the other one with harassment too when I reported it for privacy violation. So I did both, and sure enough, this one definitely got pulled for harassment. The other one might have too. They may have just looked at both of the reports at the same time for me, I guess, and said, "Oh, you know what? Both of these are the same thing. They're harassment. Pull them." So yeah, if you guys happen to see the original video, I'm not going to show it, but you'll know it when you see it. It's pretty nasty. It basically tries to out the personal life of myself and Daz the cameraman, our full names, everything. It's full on doxing. If you happen to see that video, if anyone watching this happens to see that video, please send it to me, and I will report it for violation of privacy and harassment, and it'll get pulled off any other channel that happens to mirror it too.
Well, I only know of one person that was asking Scott if he could mirror it, and he said he was going to, but the last time I checked before the video got pulled down, so I can't just follow the link through the comments, he hadn't uploaded it yet. Okay,
that's good to know. So you mean on then? That's good. Yeah, just trying to keep an eye on that. But so I mean, I think that's all the major points. Basically his entire response video is nonsense, and it's unfortunate that he suckered so many people into believing it. But he has had quite a few negative comments on his video. I don't want to go into it too much. I don't want to get into the dirt with it on it, because I know a lot of the comments are just foul language, and I try to keep this channel PG. So for family friendly purposes, we won't just take a browse of all the comment section either of his video or my video, because there's been nastiness on both sides in terms of foul language. But so yeah, do you guys have anything else you want to contribute or talk about this? I know WTF Scott, you've been working on a little remix tune of his statements.
I just did a remix. I was messing around, and I could have spent another hour on it, fine tuning it, but I didn't want to waste my life any more than what I did. So it just is up there for a laugh, and just to show what a hypocrite he is. It's pathetic.
So I assume this is it. Is this a public video? I probably shouldn't be showing this if this isn't public. But...
No, it's public now. I listed it public.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
listed before.
Chat actually commented on it.
Okay, yeah. So go over. I'm not going to steal your thunder. Go over to WTF Sky's channel and check this out. It's pretty funny. I listened to it the first few seconds of it. It was laughing out loud, quite literally. So thanks for making that. That's awesome.
I'm gonna keep it up. I think making little remixes now. I want to do one like a WSO remix next.
That'll be great.
Take it down, not for Scott's benefit, but for harassing my ears.
The Stephen Wayne remix. Oh dear.
Well played, Forbidden 303.
Well, I haven't seen any negative comments. I guess that's a positive sign. I haven't seen anybody in the chat on this hangout, trying to defend Nibiru Channel's claims or his excuses for his claims now.
There was one earlier, but it didn't get serious.
Okay. Well, I think most people, when they honestly take a look at this, can realize for themselves where the truth is really located and who's telling the truth. So I don't like making accusatory statements. I really don't. But you guys can look at this and decide for yourselves. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm just going to keep, you know, analyzing these claims with truth and facts and everything else. You know, I was asked to take a look at this video originally. This wasn't even really my idea. My phone was blowing up with comments from everybody, people, you know, who knew that this was nonsense and people who didn't know that this was nonsense, asking me, you know, to please take a look at it. And I took one look at it and I said, oh, he's using, you know, he's showing Google Sky here. And, you know, I can recognize this was the slew icon. I'm like, you know what? I bet I can figure out in like 5 seconds what this is. Are being supplied. So sure enough, figured out it was Saturn.
Well, hold on. You got to remember, he keeps referring to it as Google Space.
Oh, right. Google Space. Whatever you want to call it. Google Space, Google Earth, Google Sky. The Google with the stars in it.
Yeah, he just.
You know,
I think he does it intentionally. Like he messes up your name intentionally for a long time, just so people wouldn't find out and where to go to find it.
Steve did that
Google
too.
Space,
WSO.
Yeah, if you try to find Google Space, you're not going to find anything. You know, you're not going to find the program. You're not going to find links to it. You have to look for Google Sky.
I mean, I don't know whether he's doing that intentionally or if this is just, you know, he can't remember the right names to things. But no, yeah, it's like it's Google Sky, or you could say it's the Google Sky layer of Google Earth. Like
yeah, I was going
the
to say,
basic program is Google Earth.
It's actually an application within Google Earth. So yeah,
right, exactly. But, you know, I don't care, whatever you want to call it. The point is that once you can start looking at the coordinates of things, and particularly when you have the dates that things were taken, fortunately, SLU provides the dates that all these pictures were taken accurately. With those two things in hand, it's very easy to look up in any planetarium program, Stellarium, Celestia, whatever, the Sky, Starry Night Pro.
I would like to point out one thing that has been bugging me since, you know, he's talking about how he's always telling the truth and he's only looking for the truth. If you compare any of the conspiracy theorists' web pages or their videos and you look at their descriptions, they give zero citation of any sources because they don't want you looking for them. If you look at people who debunk them, they're usually littered with sources in the description boxes. And there's a very simple reason for that, because the people that debunk the conspiracies are very transparent. They want you to find out where they got their information. They want you to look at it yourself. But people who follow Nibiru, they don't want you to look. They just want you to take their word on everything.
Yeah, you know, that's definitely true. You know, in general, you won't find too many citations on a lot of these videos claiming to show Nibiru, because it's very easy once you have all the information to really identify these things. A lot of this is dependent on you not knowing what it is, and they get to fill in the blanks with whatever statement they want. They don't necessarily have to back that statement up with evidence. But
Yeah,
when you have...
It's literally an argument from incredulity leading to an argument from ignorance.
Yep, absolutely. Bingo. And now a lot of it is turned into ad hominem, argument to the man. And that's what all this is really turned into. It's just, let's call him a Luciferian. Luciferian? let's call him names, say that he's lying, and hope that people just take our word for it. Please, you know, watch my entire video. And, you know, I did things the way I did them for particular reasons, not just because I'm trying to hide something. By all means, you know, watch his entire original video, the whole thing through. And if you think that there's something critical that I missed in the parts I skipped over, feel free to let me know. Post it in the comments section. I won't delete your comments just because you disagree with me. I'm currently, as far as I can tell, I'm currently banned from his comment section from leaving any comments. So, you know, I won't do that to you just because you disagree with me. If you think I missed something, please tell me. I want to know, because I want to be right. I want to get it right. It's not just that I want to make it look like I'm right by censoring comments. I want to know that I'm right because I want all the information. So, you know, if you think there's something critical I missed, let me know. But I'm not going to video and risk getting a copyright strike because I'm reposting his entire video. You know, I'm doing commentary and criticism on particular parts, the main points of the video. That's what I'm doing. So that's why I do things that way. And clearly he's indicated he is eager and willing to come after us on the grounds of copyright. So far, he hasn't sent me any takedown requests, and we'll deal with that if it comes to it. But you know, he was talking big about talking to lawyers this morning, and he was going to file paperwork with YouTube and all this other stuff. So I'm waiting for that, but I'm not really expecting to see it, to be honest, because I'm doing things the right way. I'm doing things as commentary and criticism, fair use of his videos.
I think Deza needs to start up another counterclock. Time has taken him to file his lawsuits.
Exactly. And, you know, as far as I understand, the way it works on YouTube, and correct me if I'm wrong about this, Shawn, but even if he were to try to sue me over using his videos, he couldn't do that without first filing a takedown request. And if I just let that stand and I don't challenge it, he can't come after me personally. Is that right?
Correct. Correct. It all has to be handled through YouTube. You just can't go to a lawyer because this is actually YouTube's intellectual property at this point.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, you know, I'm legally protected unless I try to fight his takedown request, which he hasn't even sent yet because he knows it would be frivolous anyway. And I would suspect, and I don't know, but I suspect he wants it to become not frivolous. I think he wants me to start posting his whole videos in their entirety, and then, you know, be able to cite to YouTube that, look.
Even then, the only thing he can do legally is to file a YouTube takedown notice, which is a copyright strike. And then you have the option to dispute it. And then if he refuses the dispute, you keep the strike, and then you have the option to take it into a court battle. It's not something where you go to a lawyer and then just go to court. It's a four-step process.
Exactly.
So if he's talking to lawyers about YouTube copyright policies, he's already lying.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think Mari has to go. She says her laptop charger is not working. So I think she's got to take off here. And I think I want to wrap up the hangout pretty soon here anyway. Somebody mentioned his donated $4,000 telescope. I'd still like to know where he said. I remember hearing him say at one point that he was getting a $4,000 telescope or something along those lines. Some, you know, figure in the four figures for a telescope, and then he posts a picture of a $100 Bushnell. But
yeah,
if somebody has the link to that, the original statement, I'd love to see it because I forget where that is. I know I heard it at some point, but I don't remember where.
It's in one of his videos. I've seen it, but I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, you know, he posted a picture of his telescope. I should have one. I feel guilty that I don't. I don't have on hand a really nice picture of just my telescope sitting somewhere. I know I've got some somewhere on my hard drive, but I don't have it, you know, sort of ready at hand. What I will show is just for the sake of doing so.
And he's got a 4-inch Bushnell. It's mounted backwards. It's just hilarious to look at.
Yeah, I heard about that. He like mounted it the wrong way, and wasn't there some story about him taking the mirror out because he didn't know what he was doing with it?
He said he accidentally took the mirror out while he was assembling it.
Oh my God.
Now, keep in mind when you buy a Bushnell, they're all over the counter telescopes. You buy them for like anywhere between $50 and $100, well, $50 and $250, I think, for the single tube telescopes. It's not even a reflector; it's a refractor. It's a refractor that has a mirror at the end. Is the best way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, in all fairness, anyone who's new to a telescope, mistakes are easy. Mistakes will be made. I will tell you a couple stories just real quick about my first experiences with my 8-inch LX200 Classic. And here's sort of a stock photo of an 8-inch LX200 Classic like the one I have. One story was I didn't know how to collimate a Cassegrain. I actually knew how to collimate a Newtonian, which was the scope I had before the Cassegrain. And really, Newtonians are actually a lot harder to collimate than Cassegrains are. But, you know, I had an idea that it had something to do with the screws on the front end and all this, but I didn't really know which way to turn it to make it work. And so I was concerned I was going to hurt the thing. I was concerned that I was going to screw it up if I tried to collimate it. And I wanted professional help. Okay, so I was at a star party with my brand new 8-inch LX200 telescope. And I go to one of the guys in the field who has like the biggest scope on the field, this big Newtonian telescope. First mistake, don't go to a Newtonian owner for help with a Cassegrain. But I thought, oh, this guy's got a really big Newtonian, really expensive scope. He must know what he's doing. And I'm like, can you help me, you know, collimate my new LX200 over here? I've never collimated one before. And he's like, oh, sure. Oh, yeah, no problem. And he goes to town on it. He starts collimating it. And at one point, I mean, it keeps working. I'm like, this shouldn't take this long. He keeps looking in the eyepiece and going back to the front of the telescope. Let me take my mouse cursor here. If you adjust these 3 screws here, this adjusts the alignment of the 2 mirrors. There's a mirror here, and there's a mirror in the back. And so collimation, for those who don't know, is the alignment process to align these 2 mirrors to each other so that the image is at its most optimal. It's sharpest. So he was adjusting the screws, and I just had the stock screws in there. You have to take an Allen wrench and adjust them. And finally, one of them falls out. He completely unscrews one of the screws. That should never happen when you're collimating. If you manage to unscrew all 3 screws, the secondary mirror that's in here is going to fall out of its holder and slam into the telescope and probably break the whole thing. So really, really bad. And we knew at that point it was time to stop because we had almost lost the screw altogether in the grass. And the next day, Rod Melise, he may even remember this story. Rod Melise, if you don't know, literally wrote the book on Schmidt-Cassegrain telescopes. There are a number of books he's written about purchasing Schmidt-Cassegrains, picking a Schmidt-Cassegrain, using a Schmidt-Cassegrain. And he's got a blog, Uncle Rod's blog, and he was at this star party. And so this guy who owned the Newtonian, he at least knew who to go to fix the situation. He's like, you know what, let's get Uncle Rod. He knows what he's doing. I don't. And so the next morning, Uncle Rod comes over and fixes up the scope and puts the screw back in and gets it roughly collimated and finally teaches me how to do it properly. And the words he used, I can't use the words he used. He used some foul language to describe what was done to my telescope. So yes, when you're a beginner with a telescope, mistakes can be made. I've been there. I've made mistakes. So I'm not going to fault him for accidentally pulling out his mirror because I've made some bonehead mistakes too when I was new to my scope. But it's still funny.
Hold on. Before you get on the high horse about saying mistakes can be made, you got to remember this is a cheap Bushnell. Now, when you buy these, the cylinder is completely assembled. The only assembly you need to do is attaching it to the mount and putting the sight scope on it. You do nothing with the tube.
Yeah, that's very true. I also understand how simple the scope is. I won a small refractor small reflector Newtonian on an Altaz mount, very similar to what he has now, as a second place award in a Sky and Telescope contest for photographing Comet ISON. And this dinky little thing, it's a lot like his scope. If anything, the mount I have is actually a little crappier. It's basically a modified camera mount with a 4-inch reflector on top of it, Newtonian reflector. And it's a simple stupid scope. Like you can't really screw it up that easy. It comes with a little red dot finder. You plop that on the top, you align it, you go. It's that simple.
That's the telescope he's got.
Yeah, exactly. Do I use an artificial star for collimation? Good question. Yeah, I should do. We'll do another hangout sometime where we'll go over all the basics of using a telescope like mine, and how to align it, how to use, how to collimate, all that stuff. No, I don't actually use an artificial star. Those are nice. I probably should get one. Those are nice to use. My understanding is that laser collimators do not work with Schmidt-Cassegrains. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I was told by Rod way back in the day. That may have changed in more recent years. This was probably 10 years ago or more. But my understanding is, you do want to use a star or an artificial star, but I just use real stars to collimate it. I just pick a nice clear night with steady seeing and go at it with a real star. I find I don't have to collimate it every night, and I really should recollimate it again. It's been a while, but I try to recollimate it maybe once a month, depending on how much I'm using it.
Another very, very major amateur mistake when it comes to telescopes, for those that are thinking about getting one, is you want to leave the telescope outdoors for about an hour or more to get the inside of the cylinder the same temperature as the outside air.
Yep, absolutely. Otherwise, you'll have thermal currents in the tube.
Yes.
Yep.
And then you risk also fogging up the lenses or the mirrors.
Yep. Oh, that's true. And the other big thing about Schmidt-Cassegrains, man, we're getting onto some serious astronomy I wasn't expecting to get onto in terms of telescope usage. But you see this nice big glass plate on the front of what is my telescope and any Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope. This is a gigantic dew collector. If you do not have some way of rejecting dew from forming on the telescope, after you set it up and you let it cool off, you'll find very quickly your front corrector plate starts to fog up with dew. and within an hour or less, you will not be able to see a darn thing through it. It'll look like you're looking through smoked glass because you'll have dew all over this corrector plate. So I highly recommend, if you are going to get a Schmidt-Cassegrain or any telescope that has a front corrector plate, then you should get dew heaters. Kendrick dew heaters. Cannot recommend them enough. Yes, you are buying brand name a bit and probably paying a little more than you would have to if you went with an off-brand dew heater. But I love my Kendrick dew heaters to death. I'm not getting kickbacks. I'm not promoted by Kendrick or anything like that. But they are fantastic. I had a cheap Orion dew heater when I started off, and it was basically just, there was no controller for it. You just plug it straight into a 12-volt outlet and you go. And that piece of garbage didn't really work worth anything. The Kendrick heaters, if I set them upright, they go all night and they keep the dew off.
Unite for the Children has the best telescope advice I have ever seen. Do not clean the lenses with steel wool.
Oh God! No, I haven't seen that one done, but I have seen some horror stories of people who tried to clean their corrector plate, and in the process of taking it off, it's very delicate. They dropped it on their hard floor and smashed it. Oh, and the way these Schmidt-Cassegrains work, once you do that, you've lost the entire telescope, basically. So,
I'm just
all right,
gonna
see
say goodnight. All right, I gotta head out.
All right,
Yep,
night, Mark.
yep.
And I got all kinds of stuff I gotta do tonight. So, you guys have a great night. Thanks for inviting me on here, and I'll talk to you later. All right?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Have
You have a good night.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So I think we'll wrap up pretty soon here. I do want to do a hangout. I'm having a lot of fun now just talking about telescope stuff. I could shoot the breeze about this all night long, but I do want to wrap up this hangout because I want to keep it fairly focused on the claims being made by Nibiru Planet X 2016. But I'm thinking more and more my next hangout should be focused on telescope tips and stuff like this. Like, don't clean your telescope with steel wool. Very good tip. So we'll do a tip show and cover all that stuff next time. So thanks for watching, and clear skies, folks. Anything you want to add, Shawn, before we close out?
No, we can close out. Thank you guys for watching.
All right. Thanks.